Welcome to Journey Through the Gate, the Paranormal Portal podcast, as we delve into the many questions and wonders brought on by the supernatural experience. What's on the other side of the gate? Let's find out. All right. Let's get this party started. What's up, everybody? Like we're shaking kitty. Let's do this. Let's do this. I am not a cat. I'm prepared to move forward. How is everybody out there? Let's see what's going on in this wonderful chat. You guys are already started. Ooh, look at all that bacon. What's up, Sysco and Steve and chat? Creepy Unsolved. Hello, babe. Hello, Ted. Welcome in, Blue. How you doing, little baby boot? Yeah, Betty Boot. Well, this is the thing. Who better, right? You know? Who better? I remember her as a kid. Now, listen, Steve is going to be late, and all kidding aside, can you all hear me 5-5 okay? I got a weird, like, ringing, like something's not right. Let me see if I can hear. I should be able to hear. You guys hearing 5-5? I know there's a delay. All right, so this is what I wanted to do. As long as you guys, if it comes up 5x5 and you guys can hear me. It is so hot in here. Oh my gosh, the air conditioner, right? Oh, jeez. Stop it. You know, I hate to complain because God bless it. Thanks, Linda, 5x5. I think about the Amish and they wear all black and that heavy stuff, and here I am, you know, and then I think about back in the day, they didn't even have screens on their windows, you know, but it gets a little hot. We've gotten so conditioned to, it just gets so hot this part of the day. And right now in Jersey, it's getting up there, a little humidity, but the air conditioner is on the blink, and it makes things so interesting. Yes, it does. Yep. And it's just, so I didn't turn on any fans because the last time I did that, it sounded like jet planes were landing in my dining room. So anyway, welcome in everybody. So real quick, let's get some housekeeping out of the way. I would like to thank everybody. Now here, this is cute. Hey, Mairead. Hello, darling. Hello, Chris. Welcome. I love y'all. Lindsay, I know you're out there. Has anybody seen... Peter left a comment. We finally do true crime, and still it missed the show. and dropped a comment, that that they were still watching. Hello, Bubbles Butterfly. Welcome in, welcome in. We had so much fun last night. I know it sounds sicko to say that, but to look at a case that from 50 years ago, it's almost like looking at a ghost case. It was very similar to the crime scene for Kate Morgan and Bobby Mackey's, right? Looking back over crime scene investigation and what were people doing at the time and how did people handle first responders and everything else. So fantastic having Donnie. Donnie was just, you could see his tail wagging, right? He could not wait to get at the criminal cases and everything else. And just, like I said, to clear a lot up, there was a short military hearing for that. And then everything kind of got shut down really quick, and it was another 9 years. So you could even see that in the pictures that we put up of Helene and Stokely. If you didn't see last night, you don't know what I'm talking about, but it's okay because I'm almost done. So just go la 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 till I shut up. That could be a hot minute though. So anyway, you could see the timeline in her face, when we had her high school picture and her graduation picture and then her really drugged out picture and then, 30, almost 30, late 20s. In the criminal case, they finally got it to court, 9 years. So people were asking about Freddie jumping around and running around the house trying to recreate the timeline and everything. That was about 8 years. After the fact. They just kept that place boarded up. Now, I don't know, did anybody in the chat check and see if that's still standing? Is it boarded up? I can't imagine after 50 years it would still be there. I'd heard rumors of both, and I'll tell you the truth, I didn't research it to see. But if anybody gets that info, let me know if that house is, if the McDonald house that was involved in that horrible case in Fort Bragg in Vietnam is still standing, let me know. Okay, so there's that housekeeping. Now here's something else. This is funny. So I was beginning of last week, I was looking through some songs. Now you know how much we love the YouTubes and the audio library and everything else, and picking songs, even if it's at the beginning and to enhance some of these videos or help create a mood or something like that. We've talked about it before. Oh, okay. Creepy Unsolved. I saw it was demolished to make room for new homes. See, that makes sense. Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. So it's going to take a lot of that, and it's going to take people double checking and, as much or as little as you want to research, or just wait and enjoy it live when everybody else sees it on the episodes. I think that'll be fun with our friend Dylan and Donnie. And I didn't see Donnie in here tonight yet. And I have not seen Laura Elizabeth either. If anybody sees Laura Elizabeth, tell her we're thinking about her. And hope she's doing well. Okay, so anyhow, I was going through and I found this song. And the song was just so badass. And I thought, Steve's going to love it. I love it. And it just came at the right time of us talking about NDEs and us talking about reincarnation. We were also talking about time slips, and we were talking about the time machine. Do you remember we were talking a couple episodes back, we were talking about H.G. Wells and the Time Machine movie, where the guy was sitting in the machine and he's looking across, and this is the old movie, the old version of this, and he's looking across, and it's I believe like a dress shop window, and as he's speeding up through time, all the clothes change on the mannequin. Does anybody remember this scene? So then he kind of pulls away, and of course everything spins around so fast, and boom, he's in wherever he winds up, right? And you think about that old show, Quantum Leap. Anybody remember that one? Where the little dude, I forget his name, but he was so funny. He was in that actor was in a lot of stuff back then. But he turned the dials, and all of a sudden, the guy would wind up being a chorus girl and having to pretend, everybody sees him as the chorus girl, but he's still him. So all these different things and wormholes, and then we were talking about Bermuda Triangle. We were talking about the planes that disappeared. Where'd they go? Where did people go? You know, and we talked to Steve, who is coming, but like I said, he's going to be late. We don't know how late, so he's going to pop in whenever he can. And we're talking about missing persons that disappear, and people can hear them yelling, and they can't see each other. We've talked about that. Scott Bakula, thank you, AJK. Thank you so much. And you had so much fun last night, didn't you? It's going to keep going. It's an interesting concept, isn't it? So, again, cat hair. If you see me doing this, the fans are blowing, and it's just constant, you know, cat hair carpet bombing when you turn on all the fans. So I'm in, you know, sticky kind of cat hair hell. So anyway, where do the people go, right? So I started thinking about wormholes and time travel and space, because we were thinking about aliens and how are they coming through dimensions and portals and just the whole shebang. Do you see how it's all similar, right? And I'm hearing this song and I'm closing my eyes. You know how a song can take you away? And this song, I'm working it up so much, it better be a damn good song, right? So I'm building it up so much. I guess that's a bad thing. But anyway, just laugh with me. We're here. We're all family. So anyway, I'm listening to this song. My eyes are closed. And I can actually close my eyes. And in a portion of it, about halfway through, I can hear tribal. I can almost hear moccasins hitting dirt. I can hear a faint drum and a rattle in the background. I can also hear sounds almost like electronic bubbling and kind of the whooshing of wind, almost like you would have that if you were speeding through a wormhole or changing over and falling through a portal, right? So anyhow, I know it's crazy, right? No, I promise I did not do mushrooms. I didn't do any drugs. Not drugs that are illegal anyway. I didn't do anything like that. Not even gummy. Not even a little fuzzy gummy or anything. Oh, speaking of fuzzies, the little baby ducks were here, and we have a whole nother set too. So, like I said, life goes on. So anyhow, this song kind of took me there, and I thought, all right, I'm going to challenge myself. How do I want to share this song with the chat, because I swear this is how I think. I'm crazy, but at least I keep my crazy on the front porch, right, where we can keep an eye on it, right? So I really want to share this song with you, but I don't want you to just sit there and look at a stupid picture and experience this song. So I'm like, how can I present the song to you and show you guys? This is so good. I promise it's so good. It's funny too. It's a little funny. So how could I show you what I'm seeing when I first heard this song? Is everybody with me so far? Give me, a thumbs up or some bacon. Throw me some bacon if you're with me so far. So this is what I go through for you. I love you so much. I'm joking, but it's true. I'm so excited about this. So anyway, I said I'm going to do this completely free and show everybody at the same time, everybody who is looking to do your own podcast, looking to do your own editing, wanting to do your own videos, wanting to do gardening, or how to wrap a freaking package, or sewing, or embroidery, or fixing a muscle car, or blacksmithing. I don't give a shit what it is. You can do your own videos and stuff too. It doesn't take a lot to share your wisdom and your light with the world. So twofold, I wanted to reach out and show you guys with using a free song. God bless them, and they get full credit. What's Blue saying? He's yelling at me. What's going on? Hold on. He's mad. Are you still mad from last night, Blue? If you haven't, y'all need to watch the last episode of Skinwalker Ranch. Looks like they may have captured video of actual portal wormhole. Fantastic. I can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see it. Blue, you're a mod, aren't you, honey? Throw a link down in there, at least, to something. Yeah, you're a mod, dude. Just go ahead and just bang that little wrench to your heart's content. throw down any links you want. And everybody put the links to your shows in here too. So anyway, y'all distracted me with the bacon. So anyway, this is so good. So I said I wanted to introduce you guys to a couple things. Now this can get real expensive if you just jump into, I'm gonna buy a license with, you know, such and such company, which is fine. Do that because you have so much more access, right? But with a little heart and a little time, and I'm going to be dead honest, a little weed, you know, and a nice sunny day, right? And for the chat, I threw this together using pixabay.com. Pixabay.com. If one of the mods want to jump on that link, throw it up, please. That is free images. Usually in some cases you have to give description. Of course, it's only right to do so in the description, okay, that you use such and such, and this guy took a picture of a duck crossing a bridge. I used this picture. Thank you. It's only right. So that goes in the description. But Pixabay has images and videos and short clips, okay, and of vid, and in some cases clip art, okay, that you can use in your videos for your, say you want to do a short little intro to your Etsy channel, and you know, you make, you crochet, you know, whatever people crochet these days, you know, whatever, it doesn't matter. You can do this yourself for free. This is my whole point, right? Leave it to me to give a lesson, just to play a silly song, right? So, hey, Andy, just in time, sweetie. We're doing free stuff, and we're being creative and learning how to get our light out there for free using Pixabay and vid easy, EEZY.com. Same thing, same principle, more videos, but images and things as well. Put to theme. So you could just say clowns. Now you might get some guy, you know, throw 10 pictures up there and they're like, eh, but you can get lucky too, you know. So anyhow, this is the thing. I get to say in this 3 minute, now it is 3 minutes, you got to hang in there, but here's the deal. You guys get to go on a little ride, a little 3 minute ride tonight, courtesy of YouTube Audio Library, free with your YouTube studio and YouTube, vid easy and pixabay.com, and to me it's almost like either an NDE or you're traveling through space. Absolutely, you'll see space connotations in here because it does go with tonight's theme, okay? And it's also could be interdimensional, it could be NDE, it could be lucid dreaming, astral projection, it could be quantum leaping. It's what you want it to be because, again, I believe those things are individual as well. So there's a lesson in here. And it's a way for me to say that this is a close encounter of the thank you kind for everybody who has given me super chats and super stickers and PayPal donations and bought things at tpublic.com and crispy gear and logos and things like that. So it's also a little thank you for you guys too. It's a little silly at the end, but just bear with me because I thought it was funny. Think of maybe how we have to go and get Steve. We might have to send the spaceship to go get Steve right now. So without further ado, this is a beautiful song that inspired trying to show you guys what you can do with still photos that are free, like I said, from the links I said. And after this, guys, if the mods can go grab a couple of those links, VidEasy and Pixabay.com. And throw them up there for everybody because you incorporate it into your own creativity. I don't care if you're growing tomato plants or, you know, knitting purses out of dog hair. There's a lady that does that, don't laugh, on YouTube. She got like 1.5 million subscribers, so don't knock it till you've tried it, I guess. So here we go, and this is my thank you to you. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to name off some people who drop super stickers, and then we're going to get in search of close encounters of the fourth kind, which is abduction. How'd that be? So for now, I want you to, if you have earbuds, put them on. We're going to go full screen on this because I want you to get the full effect. Try to watch the screen because it's a little trip, and enjoy the journey. Okay? Again, put together with 8 to 10 second free clips off of those places, and painstakingly put together with love, much like your grandma's old quilt. Okay? Here we go. Thank you to my gatekeepers and all our subscribers and donators. Thank you so much. Here we go. Turn it up. What do you think? Is that not awesome? Totally free. If that doesn't inspire you to go ahead and do your intro to your podcast or you know, whatever it may be. It's so cool. It's the most beautiful song. That's Scott Buckley, and it's called "There Was a Time." And did it not look like it's like a Portal Fantasia, right? Thank you, Sasha Bell. Thank you so much. In the whole thing in 8 and 10 second little clips laid on top of each other. Absolutely, you know, amazing. And then I put Crispy and I put Zombie Steve in there. Like we had to go send the UFOs to get him. I know it's silly there at the end, but I had to figure out how to finish it. So, but there that is. So, from my heart, thank you so much to everybody who donated. Like I said, thank you last night to anonymous donator in my PayPal that sent me a donation to go to Gettysburg, which I absolutely will use. If I have nothing, I tell you right now, I'm old, I'm tired, you know, my word, my honor, and my integrity about all I got left, and I plan on keeping all three. So I absolutely will use it for that, and I thank you, and I will bring you back some information, and maybe we can help some stranded souls cross over, and wouldn't that be cool, because we're all part of it. So there's that. So what did you think? Beautiful song. Like I said, it's called "There Was a Time." Now that song actually almost goes on for 5 minutes, so if you're feeling low or something, pull it up on YouTube. Just put on the headphones and listen to it, because it almost lifts you, it almost carries you out and kind of lightly, you know, drops you off. It's amazing. So woo, you know, it was just kind of, it wasn't sort of like almost like a Fantasia. So anyway, obviously Steve is late, so I am going to go ahead. Oh, technical difficulties. He is in Yakima, Washington. Wait a minute, let me see. What did he say? It went away. Hold on. Wish I had somebody else here with me so they could sing the Jeopardy song or something while I'm trying to get information. Secret decoded information here. Let's see. Technical difficulties. I'm in Yakima, Washington. I don't think I'm going to make it. Sorry. With a sad face. I don't think Steve is going to make it. Anybody want to jump in here and co-host with me tonight? I'll send you the link. I'm not kidding. Who wants to jump in? We are doing abductions. I have 3 videos. One is from The Extraordinary. I call it Too Close, because, like I said, it's, you know, Close Encounters of the First Kind, Second Kind, and in one of the videos it lists all of that. In case you've never heard them all, there really is a list. And Close Encounters of the Third Kind is what became famous with the Richard Dreyfuss movie, right? Where he made the, you know, he was getting all the telepathic stuff and the energy, you know, stuff. And, oh, thank you so much, Blue, for dropping the vid easy. Like I said, if you're just looking into doing editing, or you want to grab a couple things, I did all that on my Android. That entire video was done on a phone. I did it on a phone, sitting in a chair outside, and watching baby ducks. It was very cool. And that's what I was kind of feeling at the time, too. And I really just wanted to share that song with you guys, because, man, it could, you know, music can just take you away. And, you know, we need all those little tools that we can get. What did you say? Hold on one second. Donnie, are you coming in? Honey, you want me to send you an invite? What are you doing? Are you in your PJs? You're not in your boxers, are you? Well, as long as you keep the camera on your face, you could be in your boxers. It might be hot. Ladies and gentlemen, it's hot here, and it very well might be very hot where Donnie is, and we wouldn't make him, you know, where anything was going to overheat him. Let's see. No scrubs. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm going to go ahead and give my thanks out there, because Steve and I were going to do it, but I'm going to do it solo here. These are all people who have sent super chats, and if I missed you when you did it, I apologize. Still learning. It goes really fast in the chat, but great donators have been Laura Elizabeth, Donnie Cho, No Justice, No Peace, and send our love to her. I haven't seen her in a while. Patriot 174 Anon, 13 past midnight. Bear with me. I got a couple screens going here, guys. Grace Lily, Gray Wolf, love you, Lindsay. Chris Holm, Pam Smith, Patriot Dog Dad. Gosh, I miss you, brother. If you're out there, ooh, I'm telling you, happy Memorial Day, my brother. I hope you hear this. Paradox Fossils, thank you guys so much. Be Kind, thank you, love. Just love you. And Be Kind is going to do a little reading for us, something like a little mantra that I'm going to put at the end. So, you know, you don't have to listen if you don't want, but if you want to stay on and listen at the end to episodes that are up and coming, she's going to do a little thing for us. Really cool. And also Sean did us a cleansing prayer for times when we are talking about the darker stuff and want to make sure that we're not crossing anything over in these electronics and stuff. I'm not kidding. You know, I mean, it's shit's high enough right now. You know, you don't want to stir it unnecessarily. You know what I'm saying? So we don't want to take any chances. So thank you to everybody who has done that. The ways to donate, of course, are in the PayPal, Super Chats, and keep in mind, too, that that's not the only way. I'm trying to get my screen back up. Sharing it, giving a like, so give it a thumbs up. Just everybody take a second, just back out of chat right now and go in there and hit that thumbs up because it really helps with the algorithm. If you notice, we are just about getting ready to tackle 2,000 subs, which is absolutely amazing. And I can't thank you guys enough for being here in this chat because it's always something. It's always cool to be in here. We always leave feeling better than when we got here. Last night was a challenge, but I think we still did it then too. So spread that around. And, you know, we'd love to have it. If all you can do is share the show, it's much appreciated. So, without further ado, like I said, Steve's not going to make it. Donnie, do you want to come on, honey? If you do, or, you know, or not, just let me know in the chat. So, here we go. This one is what I call a little too close. This is a little strange, on the strange side to me. But I don't discount it. This is right up there with the chick who married the pirate to me. I can't discount it. I can't say it's not happening. I know people that are very serious about what's going to be discussed here. I can't say it's not possible. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to look at it with an open mind, but if you laugh, you know, it's fine. It's, you know, it's fine because I think that that's a natural reaction to some of this stuff because it's kind of like watching somebody hit their knee on a table. You don't want to do it, but it's just, it's there, and it's sadistic in a way, is it not? But we still laugh. I mean, I'm gonna laugh, so it's okay, you know, and it's a natural response to what you're about to see. So here we go. I hope you guys enjoy it. Donnie, let me know the messages. Bye.
For centuries, people have been telling fantastic stories of close encounters and abduction by aliens from outer space. Many have turned into books, even Hollywood movies. UFO stories sell newspapers and magazines. Few, if any, have attracted serious attention from the scientific community. But that may be about to change. A new bestseller in the United States, simply called Abduction, is written by a man named John Mack, a Harvard professor, psychiatrist, and Pulitzer Prize winner.
My first thought was, they're here, they're here.
3.5 to 4.5 feet tall.
Long-limbed, big heads, insect-like looking.
They've come for me most times in the middle of the night, sometimes in the daytime.
They are very, very intelligent.
I remember yelling at these things and saying, "Stop this, I hate what you're doing to me."
I was shaking, I was really trembling, and every cell in my body, it was like I was afraid, I was terrified.
It happens anytime, anywhere, over and over, to those who share an experience they cannot entirely define. Like many who say they are abductees, Peter Faust has been...
I just want to say something. Listen to this lady's voice. There was a paranormal show. I forget the name of it, but chat, remember back, was it Jack Palance and his daughter? Real classy lady, tall, slender, carried herself very well. Brunette, kind of curly, shoulder-length hair. Is this her? Her voice sounds so familiar. Anybody else? Okay, I'll get quiet. You can listen. Tell me what you think. It's bugging the shit out of me.
Been visited many times. They have taken him to their ship. He never knows when they will return.
What happens after I'm hit with the light is that I'm taken aboard a ship. Normally I'm placed on a table. The beings kind of look at me, probe me, sometimes take sperm samples. Look in my eyes, my ears, that type of thing. And then after that, I'm usually taken into another room, and I'm literally shown events of the Earth. They've showed me future, what seems to me to be future cataclysmic events that where the Earth is headed.
They came for a woman we will call Susan. Her children have seen them too. Like many of the others, she is afraid to talk openly about what has happened to her.
The next thing I remember is being in the air, going up, away from the highway, just sort of floating. I have the feeling of two beings beside me, but I cannot see them, and going into a ship. And then I was examined. They did some sort of procedure. On my left side, it's sketchy memories. It's almost as though time is cut, and I don't have a continuous memory. It's very disjointed, and it's very disturbing.
Marketing executive Joan Victoria says she has been visited since childhood.
They were these 5 beings, these small, short type of life forms. And I remember running to the back door of my parents' home, trying to get in. And I remember being taken up and feeling very, very compacted, and then being in the dark, and then seeing a really fine beam of light and realizing I was traveling toward that beam. I can't even convey to anybody the terror that was felt by that child at that time. It's just, it would take, literally your breath away because you were so afraid.
Dr. John Mack is a respected Harvard psychiatrist and a Pulitzer Prize-winning author. Despite a reputation and a career to lose, he insists publicly that he has over 90 patients who have been abducted by aliens. Today, his professional life is devoted to his program for extraordinary experience research.
Clinically, I judge them to be speaking authentically, not getting this from some other source, not displacing from some trauma. It is what it is. And I say that, and I ask my critics, find one, the beginning of an explanation that accounts for this entire phenomenon. And then there's silence.
Each thought he was alone, almost hoped to be found delusional. Instead, they found they share an extraordinary reality with hundreds of others. Each story like all the others.
I mean, you put me through psychological testing to rule out delusions, to rule out sexual abuse or child abuse or any psychosis or neurosis that the normal psychiatric community would say were the reasons for these memories.
Yes, actually, you came out healthier than the average of the population, I want you to know.
One of the most convincing facts to Dr. Mack is that so many tell the same story. Many have conscious memories of their abductions. Some remember only fragments. But in hypnotic regression sessions with Dr. Mack, memories become very real.
You can't do this to me. I want to say no, you can't do this to me. Just can't do this to me anymore. Stop it!
In this tape made 2 years ago by Canada's CBC television, Peter hears one of his own regression sessions for the first time.
Just do this anytime you want. Oh.
That's it. What's happening?
They're taking me.
Where are you?
I'm laying on a table.
How old are you?
18, 19.
Want to express it more, the anger?
It's a trauma on 4 levels. It's a trauma because the thing itself is so traumatic, to be helpless, to be taken against your will and subjected to these intrusive rape-like procedures. It's traumatic because of the isolation that people feel. They can't talk about it. Their parents will say, well, that's your dream again, your nightmare. Thirdly, it is philosophically shocking to people's worldview. I mean, this is not supposed to be. This, in our worldview, this is beyond extraordinary. It's impossible. And then the fourth thing is that it can recur at any time. I mean, it's not like other traumas that are over when they're over. They can be taken again.
It was clear from the beginning that the sperm that was being taken from me was for some reason. And I wasn't sure of that, but I was aware that it had something to do with breeding and reproducing. And then it became clear to me later that I was somehow producing offspring.
I have been presented with children that are half human, half alien, and been told that they're mine. From the stories that I'm hearing from others, it seems like there is a widespread breeding program going on.
Susan insists she has carried alien pregnancies.
I started to lose my waist. After about 4 months, it became unmistakable. I could feel the baby rolling and kicking. I had colostrum come in.
Now this is critical. Your husband
Had a vasectomy, yes. It was not his child, obviously, and I'm as faithful as the day is long. I had no explanation for it. Between the time that I went to see Dr. Mack and then the time that I went to see the gynecologist, the baby was taken. And I woke up in the morning knowing that the child was gone.
Susan says every member of her family has seen the aliens. Both your children have had encounters.
My daughter has had one encounter where she woke up around 7 in the morning to find a gray alien standing in her bedroom. I was woken up to hear my daughter screaming. When my son has things happen, typically I will have the same thing happen the same night. He'll talk about the little man coming.
Susan says her husband never believed her until he had an experience of his own.
My husband didn't believe me at first, which I fully understand. Here he is sleeping in the bed next to me, and he wasn't seeing anything. This went on for about 6 months with me trying to convince him Finally, when I got to the deepest level of frustration, they came to the bedroom one night and showed themselves to him. And from that day on, he's been a staunch supporter. He believes because he's seen them.
Peter's wife, Jamie, faced an impossible choice. Either her husband was crazy, or what he experienced was real. A powerful experience that she is excluded from, perhaps forever.
I think that what affected me the most is that in feeling the withdrawal in our relationship and then finding out that there was a female alien that Peter was connected with, it felt that he couldn't, there was a time when I said, it doesn't feel like you're here with me. You know, are we in relationship here together or what? And his answer was, no, I'm not here totally with you. I am split. The emotional splitting, like the splitting of his heart, perhaps we might say, that it's half here and half there. So that the full longing of connection with me wouldn't be possible. And that was really upsetting.
I feel a split very often between here and my commitment to my life here. And that includes Jamie, that includes my profession, that includes my friends and family and everything that I know and am working towards here on Earth. And what I also feel is this deep involvement with the extraterrestrials, and that I've had some kind of ongoing relationship with them since I was a child. It appears that there's going to be some future event that I'm going to be involved in. At least that's the feeling I have. And that when that time comes, I don't know what's going to happen. So it's a constant conflict in my marriage, in my profession, in my life, just in my everyday existence. So I have to keep reminding myself that I am Peter, I am married, I am a human, I live here, I have a job, I have my work, my clients, and that this is what's important today. And when and if the ETs show up, then I'll deal with that when it happens.
It's my honest feeling that this is a spiritual awakening, a growth process. I think the time has come where they're trying to contact us.
Some intelligence is entering into our world that we do not control, that is not simply a projection of the human mind, and that intelligence has a purpose of some sort.
I just love that song so much. It just, it kind of takes you away. It's so neat how we're able to find songs that fit, all the time. I was reading all the comments. Interesting stuff. Bubbles. Wow. I'm so glad that you chose here to tell us about it, because so many of us have been through things, and this is the place where you can do that, where it's like, tell us about it, what happened. We're not going to be judgy about it. Now that's not to say we don't judge people like we were doing last night, because we really were ripping that case a new one. We got a long way to go in it too. So I don't know, how do you guys feel about all that? It's not the first time that you've heard that people are having relationships with aliens, right? Being taken almost like against your will. I'm like, everybody is, with that production that was 90, early 90, I believe. Late 80s, early 90s. I don't have the exact date, Salvador, but it's right in there because of the show that we got it from. This next one is going to be in the In Search Of. This one is really cool. This one is In Search of Close Encounters. Now, like I said, this last one, I called it Close Encounters of the Way Too Close kind, because, if it's true, again, just like the lady who married the pirate, we don't know. We don't know what's going on or why they would do it. Maybe they can't reproduce. Maybe there's, they're taking us back and forth. If that is true, and at this point I would sit there and say there's way too much out there for it not to, some part of this to have some, validity to it. So, are they taking people for reproductive reasons? Are they taking people and then raising the hybrid kids? Are there people that in their bloodlines and through their whole lives having these things happen? The next one, similar, again, a different decade. This is going back 10 years or so in the timeline of when the show was made. I can't tell you when the experience happened, if that makes sense. But this one is our friend Leonard Nimoy, and it's also focuses on people. Cool, Salvador. I mean, I do too. I mean, there's more evidence for whatever you want to call them, extraterrestrials, interdimensionals, aliens, otherworldlies, whatever. What does that even mean? Where does the circle stop? How far? Where can they come from? And what's okay to say? Space and landed in space, like the video I did, where the spaceship craft comes out. Plenty of people have seen it. And then you can add in the whole thing with Project Bluebeam and things like that. Is it all just a hoax? Is it all just holograms and things that they're able to do with things like Project Bluebeam? If you don't know about that, go back and look at some of the documents on the stuff we were going to do to Cuba with having Mary, the Madonna in the clouds as a hologram, speaking in Spanish, trying to get the people to revolt against Castro. It's documented. It was one of the things that they were kicking, one of the ideas they were kicking around in 61, 62. And if they could do that then, what could they do now? Well, you can have sex with an alien, and you can marry a pirate, apparently. So, I don't know what to say. Welcome in everybody that's in here. Again, please go take this opportunity to go back. We've got 33 in the live chat. Go back and hit those likes. Mods, what do we've got? We've got, if I go back, sometimes you got to go out and come back in to see how many likes you really have. And that's one of the things that YouTube keeps sending me. They'll send you emails like, we really care about your channel, so try to get people to give you more thumbs up. So if you could do that, like I said, it doesn't cost a thing. Just back out, hit that thumbs up, and that's it. It helps the channel, and I appreciate you being here. Thank you. And commenting also now and after the video is dropped, go in there and comment. I see a lot of people, you're doing that, and I appreciate it so much. Thank you, Salvador. He sees 32. Thank you, sweetheart. So that's fantastic. Thank you. It makes me feel good. So this one is In Search Of, and again, I think this one, kind of begins in that whole idea of bloodlines. Do y'all think it's possible that aliens could follow bloodlines? Like, say, if you're being abducted, you find out you're abducted, is it possible mom, dad, grandpa, grandma, Aunt Edna, no offense, Aunt, Uncle John, is it possible? Is there a bloodline thing somehow as well? So here we go. This one is In Search Of Close Encounters of the Fourth Kind, which, as you saw in that beginning of that video, I laid it all out. The first one is just seeing one. There's some stipulations. It's like within 150 yards or something like that. There's all kinds of different things that that constitute as a first kind. And then you have the second kind, which is if the UFO lands and leaves evidence, or in some way leaves evidence, say shoots a laser beam, burns a roof, evidence, that's second kind. Third kind is if you see living beings or aliens or whatever you want to say on the craft. So that's third kind, which is what the movie was about. And fourth kind is actually being abducted. And then there's more in there under the paragraph of being abducted and more than likely examined in some way and then left back. One of the things when I was growing up, and everybody here is probably going to recognize the names here, Benny and Barney Hill. And that was something else. I'll never forget that movie that they did with the woman that she was a pistol man. She could scream and it would just put you right over the edge. Wah, wah, wah. She was famous for that. She actually was in Bonnie and Clyde too, and she got shot, and her husband got shot. The whole time she's just running around in that dusty old dust bowl. That where Bonnie and Clyde were out, and there was some shooting up, and she's just running around screaming. It's almost unbearable to watch, but not for the shooting and the blood, but for her screaming. That sounds awful, but it's true. All right, In Search of Close Encounters of the Fourth Kind. Here we go. I hope you enjoyed. With Leonard Nimoy, our friend, he's here with us. Here we go. So creepy. I love that sound.
Many people insist they have been kidnapped by aliens and imprisoned on board UFOs. The phenomenon is called a close encounter of the fourth kind. 500 billion stars in our galaxy alone, each a seething universe spitting fire and light. Only recently have the powerful eyes of radio telescopes given mankind a glimpse of the infinity of space. Astronomers maintain that if intelligent life exists on distant worlds, the likelihood of it crossing the endless chasm of time and space is next to impossible. Yet, 50,000 UFO sightings are reported each year. Some are backed by what is purported to be concrete evidence, like the suspended image of a UFO captured by an Arizona cameraman in 1966.
The television cameraman isn't the only person who's convinced that he has proof that UFOs are visiting the Earth. What's even more startling are the first-hand accounts of people who insist that they've been abducted by extraterrestrials. These people claim to have been held as prisoners on board spacecraft, examined by aliens, and then released. What makes their testimony difficult to dismiss is that it comes from average Americans.
Carl Higdon is the foreman of an oil rig in Rawlins, Wyoming. He's been at the same job for 15 years, working 6 days a week to support a family of 7. His crew refers to him as the Wyoming Coyote because of his feisty determination to get the job done against all odds. An experienced woodsman with a love for the hunt, he looks forward to those days he can retreat into the forest. However, one October morning in 1974 was to be different from all other days. Carl recreates the events as he remembers them.
I went to pick up my crew to go to work, and one of them was sick, so we couldn't work. So I came back to the house and decided I'd go hunting. So I decided to go on down into the forest, and I hunted down there until it must have been around 4 o'clock. So I walked down over this hill. Whenever I got over the hill, I seen these 5 elk standing down there. One of them was a big bull, so I raised my gun to shoot.
Then, something happened beyond his range of experience. knocked out. When he regained consciousness, he was aware that an undetermined period of time had elapsed and that he had lost touch with reality. He stumbled through the forest in a dazed condition, trying desperately to figure out where he was and how he could get help. By 8 in the evening, Marjorie Higdon became alarmed when her husband hadn't returned. She called for a search party.
Hello, Marilyn? Yes, this is Margie. Carl's not in from hunting yet, and I was wondering if you guys could take me out and look for him. Yeah, I know, but he's not in yet. Yeah, but I don't have a four-wheel drive. Uh-huh. Well, I don't know. I just feel like I ought to go look for him.
Carl's friends discovered him in a semi-conscious state. They were disturbed by his incoherent ramblings.
What happened? Oh, you don't know. I don't know. It seems strange.
You sure you're all right?
Yeah.
You're not hurting anywhere?
No.
Okay.
Get you out of here and get you to the doctor as soon as we can.
Carl was rushed to the emergency ward of the Carbon County Hospital, where he had trouble seeing, hearing, and speaking. Nurse Ella Peterson attended him for 3 days. During that time, he remained mainly in an amnesiac state, unable to recall his own name or recognize his wife. After the incident, life in Rawlins changed for Carl. He was too disoriented to work or function normally. In desperation, he contacted the UFO agency, APRO, who sent Dr. Leo Sprinkle to investigate.
I serve as a consultant in psychology, and my primary interest is working with those people who claim to not only see flying saucers, but also claim to have had some kind of abduction experience or some kind of contact, face-to-face contact with alien beings who are associated with the UFO.
Not for nothing, but going through high school with the name Sprinkle, just saying.
UFOs. I myself have investigated 23 persons using hypnotic techniques to assist them to recall the experience.
Okay, let yourself relax deeply and go right back to that same deep concentration, that same deep relaxation. Let the muscles relax. Let yourself know that you can breathe deeply and easily as you look at the spot.
Sometimes these people have a loss of time experience, an amnesic period, which occurs during the UFO sighting, and then later they check their watches and find out that they have lost some time which they cannot account for. And these cases are most exciting and interesting because it suggests the possibility that the persons have been taken on board, have been examined, and then released, and have been told that they will not remember what has happened.
Fire. The bullet don't look right. There's somebody strange. He wants me to go with him. Lights are bright. Lights are... I can't keep my eyes open. Can't see. They look like
me, same features. He said, the sun burns him. He's gonna take me back.
Just let yourself go back inside the cubicle. What happens inside the cubicle?
Oh. I can't get in, there ain't no door.
Do you know how you get in?
No. We're above the trees. I can see pretty good. The ball looks like a basketball, but it's got a blue gray outline. It's kind of dark, no lights. There's the lights again. We're back.
In the investigation of a case, Dr. Sprinkle attempts to establish an abductee's credibility.
Shock condition.
He closely questioned Nurse Peterson to determine Carl's condition immediately following the incident.
He kept his eyes closed most of the time, saying that they hurt quite a bit. And other than that, why, he had no complaints of pain.
Raise both arms for me. This first detachment goes across your upper abdomen.
In order to corroborate the story, he arranged for a polygraph exam to be administered.
Regarding whether or not you actually had that UFO experience in question, do you intend to answer truthfully each question to that? Yes. Did you ride in that spacecraft you described to me? Yes.
In my own personal opinion, I find with the cases I've investigated that there seems to be no evidence of hoax. There seems to be no evidence of a psychotic reaction which has caused the individual to falsely believe that he or she has had an abduction, so that I'm left with the mysterious and sometimes uncomfortable feeling that the cases are happening as the individuals describe. That is, that they are being taken on board, examined, and released by intelligent beings who, for their own reasons, are engaging in these experiences.
Carl managed to work through a traumatic incident that he had been unable to live with. With the help of Dr. Sprinkle, he no longer was haunted by nightmares. He no longer doubted his own sanity. The abduction experience was resolved to his own satisfaction, and Carl resumed his work with a new vigor.
It don't make a hill of beans to me whether anybody believes it or not. I know what happened to me. If people want to take it at face value, that's fine. If they don't, it don't make me any difference. The only thing I'm saying is if this does happen to anybody else, what they are to do is talk to somebody about it. Not to hold it inside and try to conquer it themselves, because it can't be done, I don't think. I don't think our mind can take it. As far as the experience happening to me, I think if it hadn't been for Dr. Sprinkle, I probably would have been in an institution by now.
Carl's is not the only abduction case. There are others who claim to have been UFO captives. The giant mills outside of...
Okay, guys, I was just going to stop it there real quick. Wait a minute. Oh, jeez, what's going on now? Here we go. Start it all over. There we go. Is that it? Dadgummit.
City are the center of steel production in...
So, what I was going to say is, again, this is one of those people I do love In Search of as well, Fest. Absolutely. And welcome in if I didn't say hi to you. The thing is, this is one of those guys that I just don't believe would bring this up and drag himself through it in his town where he has to work around the people that are going to make fun of him. He's sitting at the bar at the little local diner. You see what I mean? I don't know. That that makes a little weight for me. But again, there's, I've seen crazy people, swear they were an armchair. So what weight does that hold? What do you guys think about the hypnosis thing? Now, if somebody regresses and remembers something via hypnosis, does that make it any less believable to you guys? You personally? And there's no right or wrong answer there. Some people go, okay, it's under hypnosis, so I'm going to throw out everything that person said. Whether it be reincarnation or abduction or, any of those things, right? You might automatically in your mind say that's, just completely wipes it out as far as evidence that you're willing to look at. Right? Just like last night's case where you have a witness, a key witness, supposedly, and everything is based on verbal recognition. I mean, of what they can remember possibly of an event where a major murder took place and a horrible thing. Admittedly on multiple drugs, 2 of them hallucinogenics. So how will, is that the same thing? I don't think so. I think hypnosis can be done by reputable people who know what they're doing and regress people back into past lives, as well as remembering things that the mind has blocked. A lot of us know that if you go through a horrible experience, whether it be an accident or a tragedy or anything, similar thing, fill in the blank there, your mind can shut that door so you don't remember it until you're ready to remember it, and sometimes it comes out that way. One layer at a time, like peeling back an onion, your memory will allow you to remember this a little at a time when you're ready. The mind and the body is an amazing thing. But do I think that people can, under hypnosis, regress you back into a memory that your mind... Yes, I do. I've seen it too much. Now that doesn't mean I believe everybody. And I've had people try with me too. And, in one case it worked, in one case it didn't, So I don't know. And I think about it, probably I put more in, more weight on that than I would some of these other things like polygraph tests. Does a polygraph test work on a psychopath who believes what he's saying, or a pathological liar, or someone that can control their nerves and their breathing? I can remember watching an old Barney Miller when I was a kid, and one of the guys who was supposedly the smartest guy in the room, he could blow absolutely fool a polygraph test. And he was saying he was an alien. Hey, it fits right in. He was saying he was an alien and he was from another planet, and the whole room was just looking at him like, oh man, he's telling the truth, because it says he's telling the truth. But he was so calm, he was able to absolutely override all that. Barney Miller, yeah. It wasn't Wojo Howitz. I can't remember the guy. It was the guy with the glasses, the smart dude. Do you remember, Linda? Wojo Howitz was my favorite. I always thought he would make a real nice guy to hang around with. I bet he was a good dancer. I know that sounds funny, but you know what I mean? Wojciechowicz was a good time. But anyhow, I digress. Anyway, I stopped it to see what you guys thought of hypnosis and whether or not you kind of, you know, put any stock in hypnosis. And this guy opened right up. I've seen, you know, combat veterans, God bless them, especially today, you know, really benefit people with PTSD and trauma and things like that. So I wouldn't throw it out, you know, completely without, you know, looking into it a little bit more if you are really against it. Of course, it, you know, if it has something to do with a belief or information I don't know about, you know, absolutely. I mean, you get to think to however you feel. But I wouldn't throw it all out. You know, I've seen people really, really helped with that. And I've seen cases where people remembered under hypnosis that matched other people that were there, that were separate. You know, they were together during the experience, but they were separate during the hypnosis, and they weren't led into it. You know, they weren't leading questions, and they weren't like leading. Did you see the rabbit with the, you know, the purple bow tie or whatever it was? They didn't lead them down anything. They just opened up and started remembering it. It matched. So there's something to it. All right, so we can go ahead and continue this one through, and then I've got another little surprise one. I feel real bad. I'm sorry, guys, that Steve couldn't be here tonight. I apologize. Like he said, he's just having tech problems. He's out on the road. He's probably doing a lot of fantastic things with getting footage and stuff for the channel, Missing Persons and Mysteries, and so let's finish this up, okay, guys? And, you know, let me know what you think. I mean, you get to think what you want to. If you believe that there's no such thing as any of this and it's all bunk, you know, you have to decide, right? You know, a lot of people in here may have had experiences. And then again, we might see a UFO and think we saw a UFO, and it was something we had or something we were tested, right? Here we go.
The West.
I love him too, sweetheart.
My name is Pat Roach, and I work at the steel company in Orem. I'm a millwright apprentice. I should be a journeyman in another year or two.
Pat is one of 5,000 employees at the steelworks. When she completes her training as a millwright apprentice, she will be the only woman licensed to make repairs on the heavy machinery. When the work whistle blows, Pat hurries home to her #1 responsibility. She is the sole support of 5 young children. On October 16th, 1973, the normal flow of her life was dramatically altered. Pat recreates the events for In Search Of.
It was about 8 o'clock in the evening. My little boy was 4 at the time. He climbed up beside me, and he had his blanket with him, and we fell asleep.
Sometime between 8 and midnight, something invaded the privacy of Pat's home. Her children, normally alert to strange sounds in the night, slept on, as if put in a deep trance. They would later believe that they were abducted during their sleep. Only one child reported seeing something too strange to believe. Police Sergeant Ray Edwards answered Pat's call for help. He investigated the area, but could find no evidence of an attempted break-in.
Whiskey Alpha Fox 372.
The following morning, Edwards filed an official report, leaving the case open. He dismissed the claim of Pat's 6-year-old Deborah, who insisted the house had been invaded by spacemen. Nevertheless, for the Roach family, an unsettling mystery still hung over their household and was to persist for the next 2 years. UFO investigators believe victims suppress the memory of an abduction because they are programmed to do so. Researchers feel, however, that children stand a better chance than adults of resisting mind manipulation.
I wouldn't have actually known what happened that night. I probably wouldn't have even investigated it at all if it hadn't been for the fact that 2 of my children were just positive that they were spacemen. I began reading about UFOs, and I began looking at magazines that had stories about UFOs and seeing other people's experiences. And I thought, there must be more to it than what we know. And so I thought, well, the only way we'll find out any more is to go under hypnotism.
Tell me more about the time.
In order to recall the events, Pat contacted Dr. Jim Harder of APRO, the Aerial Phenomenon Research Organization.
And I and 2 other members of APRO are in charge of the close encounter investigations. What I mean by that essentially are close encounters in which people have had intimate contact with what could only be called alien beings. I have talked with 30 or 40 people who've had such experiences. Now, in various degrees, I've been able to regress them through particular experiences.
1, 0. Your whole body's feeling very heavy and relaxed, except that your left arm is beginning to feel
The hypnosis enabled Pat to retrieve memories that she had long buried.
I remember what the interior of the spaceship looked like. It seemed that the walls fell away as you went to the ceiling, and you could see the stars and everything. There was a TV scanner that would start at the top of my head and go all the way down and come back again. It was like an eye. I was examined by a man that was just an ordinary man. He was a little over 6 foot tall. So I was very upset because he came at me with a needle, a long needle, right here. I was angry with them because I didn't feel that they had any right to come into someone's home and take them. And what I was particularly upset with them about was that I didn't know where my children were. They know everything about us physically, how to make us well, and everything about how our body operates, but they can't understand our emotions and our feelings and our ideas about things. They don't understand us. I don't believe that they really want me to go on TV and tell my story because if it's happened to other people, they might start putting the pieces together and realize that they've had the same experience.
Powerful radio telescopes point to the heavens, listening to the noise of the universe.
Astronomers committed to the concept that it is impossible for extraterrestrial life to come to Earth believe that if contact is made, it will come through a radio signal across the infinite expanse of space. But there are others, ordinary men and women, who insist that intimate contact has already been made.
Well, there you go, guys. Do you believe? You know? That's some impressive stuff with the hypnosis. I believe there's a lot there, too, that, could stand up and give the whole bloodlines idea a lot of credence, coming after the kids. Someone here, I'm sorry, I forget who mentioned it first, the 23andMe. I always said that. The minute they came out with that, I'm like, nope. They're looking for something specific. They're hunting down DNA. I don't know if they're looking for RH negative or certain bloodlines or what, but that thing smelled from the second I heard about it. So, and you can't convince me different, and I always thought too, it's like, how do you know? You're paying all this money. But it's trippy. I just always got this real sinister idea when I heard about it, all of it, Ancestry. They had one, I forget what the name of it was. 23andMe was one, but it wasn't the first one. And, it's just, it's crazy. Donnie wants to be. Well, our Steve Stockton wants to, what do you say, black-eyed bikini models with rock and roll albums and a pizza or something. He always says so. I never deny, somebody their dream, Donnie, if you're thinking about aliens. But, he brings up a good point. It's not the only people I've heard. I pulled up this tonight, and it's, of course, an old show. I have heard countless accounts of people saying they were abducted and had relationships, sexual and otherwise, with aliens. Some of them have kids and are shown kids at like the 2 and 3 year old mark, because I'm hearing that the alien, and that's like such a blanket term. That's such a broad brush when you say aliens. What exactly are you talking about? Spacemen, Mars, little green men? Are we talking extraterrestrials, interdimensional? Are we talking about beings that can, go in and out of stuff that we don't understand? I don't know. But it's kind of a blanket term for it's alien to us. That's kind of what I mean. And something is taking people and bagging it, tagging it, taking samples, taking things without permission. And it's the same thing echoed over and over again, very much like an NDE, the tunnel of light, what they see on the other side may change, but most of the time it's some kind of tunnel of light or being, movement of the soul through this tunnel, not unlike the video in the beginning that I made with that beautiful song, right? So these people, I love you back, Linda. Thank you, sweetie. So what I'm basically trying to say is all of these people match with other stories we've heard globally. Okay? Whether it be past life regression, whether it be alien abduction, whether contact with aliens and being examined and then drop back off, missing time, people like hunters seeing aliens, not very recently, but not too long ago. In I saw you guys talk about David Politis, bless his heart. Anyway, so a lot of hunters there. He did a really good movie. I don't know if you guys saw it, with the hunters that disappeared, the 411. You can get it on YouTube. I think it's like $1.99 or something. I'm totally, whatever you got to pay for it, it's totally worth it. It's well done. And the hunters are sitting in the woods, and how they did this is older people. A couple of them are family. If you know the story, feel free to chime in, but this is one of David's movies that he put out. And the hunters are, they have a set place, they have a drink, they each have like a power bar, or whatever you call them. I call them like organic bars or granola bars, whatever, what I'm talking about. And probably a bottle of water. They have their rifles, they have their shotguns, and they walk down the road, and then they pace themselves, and then they, separate, and then they turn and they walk into the woods, all giving each other the, the high sign. They've got whistles, they have radios, they have communication. This is how long we're going to walk into the wood line. This is how far we're going in. This is how long we're going to stay. And then the young ones went on the other side of this, small woods. And they were going to push the deer that way. And that way the older hunters could sit and get the deer as they ran through. So we could do another show on whether that's ethical or not. But, people got to eat. So there's that, as long as they're using it and not abusing it. So there's that. This guy is sitting, he's one of them, father, boys that are men now. He's an older man. And he's sitting on the log, and there's evidence that he was eating that power bar that I talked about again. I don't know if it had chips in it or nuts or hooey, I don't know. And he's gone. Everybody looks for him. Typical story. Everybody looks for him. Dogs won't hunt. Disappeared there. Close by. They're calling. Typical 411 story. Gone. Right? And his friend reveals this eerie detail later on in the movie, that he heard a loud metallic trap slamming shut kind of sound. His words. Metallic, not hollow, but like something big and hollow and metallic slammed shut. Didn't hear it open. It was just this. And it's weird. You think, what does that mean? Okay, any of my construction buddies out there, any of my military's been around heavy equipment and large trucks and things like that, you know what that backhoe sounds like. You know when that bucket drops. You know what it sounds like. You know what the tailgate or something sounds like when it drops. It's a metallic. And these guys knew. Then you hear the sounds of, like Steve and I have said, the black-eyed kids, and almost that sound of the sound barrier breaking. Yeah, like the sound a bear trap makes, Blue. Very good, yes. And, and more I'll tell you what, I saw the biggest bear trap I ever seen in my entire life outside of Harry's. It's one of the best gun shops there is. Don't get me started on bear traps. I'm a firm believer. Not for bear, though. I don't like any of that. I don't like trapping animals that are going to hurt animals. But I'll tell you what, you got a perimeter and you want to secure it. They tend to frown on claymore mines and deadfalls, but sometimes every once in a while you can get away with a bear trap. I'm joking. I promise you I'm joking. No, it's just a running joke, but I promise you, in my family. But, you got a perimeter. People laugh and they'll say stuff like, oh, the bottles in the string or the cans in the string. I'm telling you what, you're in a pinch and you need a little help. Where's all my campers out there? Where's all my military? Where's all my people that don't mind going an extra mile for a little extra security? We laugh all the time. You have to understand, I have boys. We love to talk about this. You're driving in the car, it's like, you're talking to your mom. Of course she's teaching you how to keep your perimeter safe and, use what's around you, look at your surroundings. But anyhow, Yeah, bear traps. So I'm outside Harry's, and this thing had to be made for like the abominable snowman. It looked like an elephant trap, I swear to God, and I hesitate to say. Yeah, the little green boxes that say front towards the enemy. Yeah, yeah, with the little legs, so you can angle it. Yeah, Claymore mine. End of story, right? For my Uncommon Valor fans out there, Blaster. What a great character, Blaster. But anyway, this bear trap, I've never seen anything so big in my life. I can't imagine the weight that it would have had to take to trip this thing. But it was kind of a big advertising thing. They had a big old chain. The chain that had it chained to the building was impressive all in itself. But I probably stood there and stared at it and lingered a little too long because I was probably drooling. I'm crazy, man. I think it's the native in me because, you think of how people used to secure their perimeter and stuff like that. Some of the simplest things work. The snare, where's Donnie? I know he knows a lot about history and, the way the different cultures fought and everything, but I think I'm safe in saying that, again, no expert. And if you want to disagree with me or you want to add something to it, there's no problem doing that. But right now, where I'm sitting, I'm going to say I think the Vietnamese during the Vietnam War was probably one of the greatest teachers of traps and snares and booby traps and, not very unlike Native Americans here. Some of the tribes here that I'll tell you what, stopping you in your tracks. So again, instead of just following one, take a mixture of all of that together. So how did we get on this bear traps? Yeah, I'm sorry. I got, there's some women that get distracted by shiny things like diamonds and fancy cars with sparkly marshmallow colored cars, and all that stuff. If it's not a motor, I'm a motorhead. So if it's like older than like 78, 79, I'm probably not even going to recognize it or notice what it is. I mean, I know, I'm just old school. And everything else just looks the same. Unless it's a really nice truck. I do get a little crazy for trucks. But one of the things that gets me really excited, I get distracted by is weaponry. It's like I get distracted. It's like, look, David Cow. It's like, you do bear traps? Oh my gosh. We talk about who saw the movie. I know this has nothing to do with aliens. I promise we'll circle back. Promise, okay? Hang on. We'll circle back for my buddies out there. But I got to tell you this. Who saw the movie? Now, I'm trying to remember the name of it. Hang on. It's right behind me. I swear I got the DVD. It's in the library. Oh, shoot. Anthony Hopkins. And that jerk face. It's a Baldwin. And there's bears. What's the name of that? It's a movie. Great movie. Oh, come on, chat. Come on, chat. Somebody's got it. Somebody's got it. Oh, it's a simple name. What a fantastic movie. You want to talk about a battle of wills, of wit, of quiet wisdom and methodical, calculating thinking. The Edge. Oh, thank you so much, Uncommon Belief. I'm so proud. Man, look at me. I'm proud as all get out. Look at there. Anyway, that's right on the spot on. The Edge. So, this whole flick, it's exciting. It's something that you're really going to enjoy, and I'm pretty sure you can see it on YouTube. I don't know. It's probably $1 or something. Who knows? Don't buy it. Well, do what you want to do. Anyway, watch it. So, it's a whole thing between Anthony Hopkins and, no spoiler alert, but anyway, his ex-wife and some other people, and they go up in this cabin, and things go wrong. Things go really way out. They go astray. And it's this battle of survival, and there's bones coming out of skin because you broke your leg, and what are you going to do now, and things changing on the end of on a dime. It's cool stuff like how to use a pin or metal, and rubbing it on a certain material. I believe it's silk. To get it magnetized so you can find real north by using a leaf in a little bit of water. I mean, just cool stuff like that all through this movie. But one of the coolest ones is dude builds his deadfall so efficiently. I was so excited. I couldn't stay on the couch. I was just like, hell yeah. Because at this point, the guy who was going to fall in the hole totally deserved it. So it's okay. It's officially okay if it's justifiable comeuppance. Am I wrong? I mean, you've got somebody who's trying to kill you, and you've got time to throw down with some, Vietnamese, bamboo, or so. You're hanging upside down, and meanwhile you got crazy bears after you, all at the same time. So, highly recommend the movie if you dig that kind of thing. I call it a chick flick, but then again, not your normal kind of that you would think about. It's definitely not a Hallmark movie, but there you go. So anyway, let's watch this last one. See how we circle back? Not all redheads are idiots. I love you all so much. Anyhow, this last one is, as I spoke before, and I was so bad that Steve wasn't here to hold my paw through this, because this is more his wheelhouse. But, look at me go. We did it. We did it together, right? We stuck together as a family. We got through this. We're hitting all the hard bullet points, the hypnosis, the sex with aliens, against your will. That was one of the things with Betty and Barney Hill that was just so over the top for her and for them. They were an older couple, and she was so embarrassed, and she was such a lady, and she was so not innocent, because at that time, being an interracial couple, which they were in that timeline, they had added bonus of struggle, and still managed to keep this kind of bubbly, happy persona about them both. And I do really believe that it was just the love that got them through it. But that was even before the the experience that they had. And then you've got all of the torrid details, like the dress with the stains and the whole thing. It sounds almost like, could be happening in the White House or something, But no, this supposedly happened on the abduction. So, most assuredly, a close encounter of the fourth kind for Betty and Barney Hill. Now, there's another one that's famous, and I would absolutely love to get this gentleman on the show. And like I said, I haven't had a lot of, different guests here and there, because there's so much turmoil going on around me that I hate to get somebody on and have to move it. That's happened twice to me, and I vowed I wasn't going to do it again until I got everything to the point where, it wouldn't affect other people. So, we're doing pretty good. We're hanging out. We're having a good time by ourselves, watching, being good. Everybody gets bacon and a juice box. We're all good, being good and having a good time. But, again, I'm sorry Steve wasn't here, because this is more of his wheelhouse. But I think we can all see that this is just a terrifying experience. Now, whether you're of the group of people that think that they're from another planet, so be it. Do we know? We don't know. We're guessing. It's a hypothesis based on the data that we've collected. Plain and simple. Some of us have been collecting a long time. Some of us just take it for granted that we believe that cryptids are real, so why not this? Who am I to say what is and isn't? I don't even know what's going on with us, right in front of our faces sometimes. So some of this other stuff, So I think it's highly invasive. I think it's wrong for anybody to be carted off against their will for any reason, for the greater good, or to save a civilization, or so they can better understand. Because one of the things I've learned, and I don't know about you guys and what you got from some of these videos, is some of these people are being forced to be parents to children they'll never see again. If it's true. Nobody asked them. Ripped from their beds. Hunting. Zapped out of the shower, wherever. And some of them get glimpses of these children at 2 and 3, and some I've heard even older, and they know it's theirs. And the reason they bring them back to these parents, these human parents, is because they don't know how to love them. They don't have the emotion. This is what I'm hearing. Not once, not twice, multitude of times. I won't be hyperbolic and say, thousands of times. But I bet you it's in the high double digits. And I'm sure you guys have too, if you think about it. In a book, or in a Benny Barry Hill story, or, even if it's a crazy story that you're standing in the grocery store and reading on the cover of the Inquirer, I'm mother to 6 aliens, and, and the last one's graduating high school. Yeehaw! We see that, but then we watch funny things like movies out there that throw out little hints like, National Enquirer gets it right sometimes. I think that was Men in Black. And you think about it and you go, they probably do. They probably distort it and pull it and, like silly putty, and shape it to the, what they want to say. Like, I think it's a fantastic movie. Here's another movie for you. You're welcome. Michael. Fantastic flick. And the whole thing starts is that these people who are writing a tabloid, great people, everybody involved, the whole cast, and they hear that an angel is living in an old broken down hotel almost out in the middle of Nevada somewhere. And it's Michael. Archangel Michael supposedly came down, is hanging out in this broke down hotel. And this lady keeps writing these letters like, he's here, he's right now, He smells like cookies. Anybody see this? It's a great flick. Great, 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 great flick. And it's got a lot of little truths in it all the way through. Yeah, what a great movie, right, Mikard? Oh gosh, can you not just die for the scene where John Travolta, with long hair John Travolta, kind of like an older, chubbier, a little more leaning on the stupid sexy, you know what I'm saying, that he always played, but somehow it works in this because he's supposed to not give a crap. He's an angel, and he's like over it. It's a good flick, right, Salvador? So anyway, the whole reason I brought that up is because it all starts out because the main characters have to go out here and interview this angel, and they write for a tabloid. So through all of the whole movie, you're hearing these stories about how a lot of the stories, it sounded like they were just off the chain, wild, and alive, were true. And I've always thought that since I was a kid. I mean, of course, there's a lot of fluff and things thrown in there, but it's a lot with like conspiracies. Like you think conspiracies as a kid, and then 20 years later they happen, and you go, what? you know. Sometimes they come true more rapidly than that. But it's similar, and I do think that in some ways tabloids do put stuff out there. Who knows? It could be some kind of crazy thing like, people talking to each other. I think that was in a movie too, wasn't it? It may have been also Men in Black, where, they got code through things like the National Enquirer. I don't know in the UK what the rags are out there that you call rags, like the Globe or something else, but they're all over the place here. And you often wonder what crazy stuff is going on, that some of these people would be on the cover of magazines and cover of newspapers for that matter, But this stuff goes on behind the scenes. People struggling to, like I loved what that one psychiatrist said about how it's multi-leveled attacks. Because first, this is happening against your will, you're taken. The physical attack, of course. Then there's the attack again when you come back and you get back into your life and people don't believe you, and that's in a lot of ways another attack. Excuse me. So all of these things are true. And no more than this man that's coming up now. It's a little bit more mainstream. You'll probably remember the story a little bit more. Of course, you'll remember the story a little bit more because of the fantastic movie. Now, I love this movie. He might have other things to say about it, but I'm not him. I really loved this movie. It's called Fire in the Sky. Now, we're lucky enough to have an old interview. I was so glad I found this for you guys. I get so excited. I'm like, I can't wait to show this to the chat. I get so excited. And so anyway, I found this, and it's on an old Extraordinary. Can you believe it? The Australian paranormal show. I know, right? Oh my God. So anyway, here is Travis Walton. And it's on the Extraordinary. I cut a little clip of it. It's short. It's 8 minutes, something like that. And we'll finish up. And this is how we're circling back to the whole thing of, I believe this man. There's nothing about this case. I mean, I've gone over it very much like the one last night. I've gone on in and out, in and out, in and out. Who said what who did what. What happened to this town? What happened to these construction workers? What happened to their families? The way they were treated at their jobs, their lives were overturned, almost accused of a murder, and I think at one point in time, I could be wrong, actually were. I know they were pushing for that when he was missing. But you guys know the story as well as I do. Here is a little clip, and again, to me, Travis's story gives everybody else's here that we listened tonight, whether you ever saw them before or not, more weight, because why would they volunteer for that? Taking out a small percentage of people that are crazy enough not to give a shit how they're looked at. Some people like attention. You have to allow for that percentage. But then there's the quiet guy, like Mr. Sorrell in The Haunting, that swears he was raped more than once and attacked by an entity or a ghost. He doesn't know the difference. Gosh, we don't. More than once. And volunteered that information to help his family. I believe him. Why would you do that? Ridiculed down at the factory. Life ripped apart. Stuff, put in your locker. The jokes that don't let up. Why? Ted, you reminded me of something, and I want to, before we play, that's just, you want to talk about synchronicity, chat? The miracles that we have seen happen in this chat have known no bounds. Now, those of you that have been with since the beginning, I'm going to just go ahead and pull the podcast over, and I have to point out synchronicity. There was a little bumper sticker kind of thing that I wanted to share with you guys tonight because I feel bad. I wanted to leave you with a laugh. And I almost forgot it. But here comes Ted Branson. I don't even know what he's talking about, but it was the synchronicity. Look. I'm going to tell you right now. Okay, horses walking away. Okay, good. Either way, you guys are talking, but you don't know why you're Vixen Doe, and everybody that's talking about this back and forth, you didn't know why you were talking about farts. I'll tell you why. Because I forgot to tell you the phrase that I remembered about about giggling. And I wanted to share it with you. It's so funny. So hang in there. We're going to, Bubbles, hang in. You're going to be so sorry you walked into this chat, sweetie. You see, we lure people in with the light. Once we get you stuck with the honey and the sweetness. And then once we got you, we tell you bad jokes until you scream for mercy. So, so anyway, the whole thing is I'm not going to get it right, but it's old. It's an old granny saying, find a gent that makes you giggle, but stay with the man that when he makes you giggle and that makes you fart, he giggles with you and not at you. I know it's gold, right? It's gold, right? Think about it. Find a beau that makes you giggle and stay with the man who giggles with you when his giggles make you fart. You know, it's just, it's cute. But the whole thing is, be with somebody who lets you be yourself. Sasquatch has worse farts. I'm sure. But see, Sasquatch has to find another Sasquatch that doesn't care. You know, at the very least, has the same amount of fartiness. But stay with the guy who by you being yourself, you make him giggle, you delight him. The whole idea is find somebody that feeds your light, not drains you of it. That makes sense? Feed your light. And you also have to be with people that works for you too, because by giving of your light strengthens you as well. I think it's the only thing that we can give away endlessly without ceasing and never run out. But it still needs to be replenished. It's a puzzle. What you do know is, when you know it, that your light can wipe out any darkness. Nothing else really matters. And when you figure out all the light is connected, all the energy is connected, nothing else really matters. Right? So let's watch a little here of good old Travis. It's short. Hey Sean, welcome in. And see what you think. Here you go. Oop. Haha, wrong one. Never mind.
Why did you let him kill me?
On a given night, when the moon is right and the imagination is at work, a lone person might see things that don't really exist, like ghosts, spirits, maybe UFOs. But when 7 grown men see the same thing, and they all swear after 18 years that what they saw was real, then you have to take notice. In the case of Travis Walton, every witness took a lie detector test, and the results spelled UFO.
Is your first name Travis?
Yes.
On November the 5th, 1975, in the forest area called Turkey Springs, did you see a large glowing object hovering in the air?
Yes.
While you were standing near this UFO-like object, do you believe you were struck by an energy force emitted from that large object?
Yes.
After regaining consciousness in a small, humid room, did you see non-human creatures with large dark eyes moving about the room?
Yes.
Did you conspire with your brother Dwayne or anyone, or act alone, to stage a hoax about your UFO abduction?
No.
It happened deep in the woods of the White Mountains of northeastern Arizona at 5:49 p.m. Travis Walton was 22 years old. He was with 6 other woodcutters returning to their hometown of Snowflake as twilight settled on the rugged woods where they'd worked all day. The crew supervisor, Mike Rogers, was at the wheel as they rounded a bend and came upon a clearing and the hovering light.
It was very clear, very vivid, and it was, 75 or 100 feet from the truck. I verified that later on with my own step-and-loft measurements.
Travis Walton has walked that same clearing 100 times since that afternoon 18 years ago. He still hasn't found an answer.
I had pretty bad nightmares for a long time, but I just had to cope with this thing and get on with my life.
The events surrounding that day are the subject of a new movie called Fire in the Sky, which opens here soon. But the question goes unanswered. No reported UFO encounter on Earth has ever fallen into the category of the Travis Walton case. His reported abduction by unknown beings was witnessed by all 6 of his co-workers, including Mike Rogers.
This brilliant flash of light just lit up the whole woods right there. It was almost blinded me. It did blind me temporarily, just for a few seconds. I turned back around and glanced back to my right, where I'd seen Travis standing, and he's flying back through the air. He was just like as if a grenade or explosion had gone off in front of him.
We all saw the thing. We all saw the guy get zapped.
All swore to the same story.
That's the truth, mister. That's exactly what happened. Is it?
All except one submitted to lie detector tests at the time and passed. Then this year, every single one of them took more sophisticated polygraph tests conducted by the same man. All, including Walton, passed.
Mr. Walton is telling the truth when he claims that this is not a hoax, that he went on board what he believed to be went on board a UFO and was later deposited on a road in Heber. His story is truthful in reference to the questions I asked.
The people of Snowflake can't explain what happened that evening, including the then sheriff, Marlon Gillespie.
My belief is that those individuals, those 6 individuals, seen something that they believed was a UFO.
Back in the truck! When the blue light appeared above them that evening, Travis bolted from the passenger side door.
I felt kind of like an electric shock go through my body, and it kind of made me go numb, and I blacked out.
Oh, my God.
What's he doing out there? He's back in the truck. What the hell is
And I hit the gas, and these guys are simultaneously screaming at me to get the hell out of there, and I was gone.
They thought it had killed me, and they panicked.
As the truck sped off, Travis recalls an unworldly series of events.
I don't know how I got on board. All I know is that when I regained consciousness, that's where I was. I was in a lot of pain, just a tremendous amount of pain. I was lying on my back, on a table, and there was a light above me. And, you know, I couldn't focus my eyes at first. I saw these creatures standing over me that I knew I wasn't in a hospital. And at that point, I just flipped out. I just became hysterical. Dimly lit. And it was very difficult to breathe in there. It seemed like the air was too warm and humid or something. It was very hard to catch my breath.
The creatures had examined him and taken fluid samples from his body. Some of the creatures were human-like.
I saw 4 of them all together, and 3 of them are the ones that rendered me unconscious. When I first saw this human-looking person, I thought I was being saved, that I was being rescued by people.
To this day, there are doubters who believe that 7 woodcutters pulled a fantastic hoax on the world at 5:49 p.m. on November the 5th, 1975, like Rich Robertson, who covered the story.
Most of the time, the people who see UFOs are people that were predisposed to believing in them to begin with. I guess UFOs have a way of picking out those particular people.
But others, like the sheriff who suspected them of murder, have changed their minds.
I believe that there's unanswered questions out there from outer space. I think that there's probably some occurrences happening that our government may be aware of that they're not telling us.
The 7 men involved don't see much of each other anymore. They hadn't talked about the incident for years, until the Hollywood movie was made. And the world began to ask the same questions all over again.
Well, there you go, guys. Travis Walton. And I'm reading all the in the chat here, different things that went on. Yeah, that mustache man. You know, back in the 70s, you know, people just do that kind of thing. You know, it was just stash some. The sideburns is what get you. You go through the history and you look at some of the sideburns that were just people, oof. Like in the Civil War, those big old pork chop ones, it's like crazy. Style, you know, in and out and all around. You know, look at the mullet. So we have a surprise guest, and I appreciate her patience greatly. Now, I wanted to ask her, you can tell me in the chat if you like, do you want to be shown? Because I can see your video, and I wanted to be sure before I put you on. Can you hear me? I didn't know whether you want to put your video. So if you don't want to put your video, you're going to have to put your icon over because I see your beautiful face. Can you hear me? You can be thumbs up. You can hear me. I know there's a delay. Bear with us, chat, for a second. Oh, I can. Okay, good. Took me. See, that's how long it takes. You guys, sometimes I'm telling you, that's why it takes so mutton chop. So without further ado, we have the lovely Be Kind with us. Let's add her to the stream. Hi! I was like, the delay is so long.
Yes.
Surprise.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I'm getting a little echo. Do you have just your headphones? Is there a radio or phone on? Or TV?
Okay. How's that?
That's better.
Is that better?
That's better. I think I'm getting me, and we're not going to be, I know we're not going to be long anyway because it's very, very late. But welcome in. What did you want to tell us?
I wanted to share, I put it in chat. I don't know if you can put it on the bottom of the screen, what you and I talked about me reading. Oh God, this is terrible with these headphones on.
You can hear the echo? Are you getting
No,
echo,
it
sweetie?
sounds like I'm in a tube.
Like a cement tube. It takes a little while to get all your sound straightened out. That's why I don't touch buttons, because once I got it, I was like, I won't, you know. And I go through extra to get, you know. It's crazy.
I don't have chat open now, but so
Well, that's...
Is the audio okay on your end?
I can hear. How does she sound, chat? Give me a 5-5 if you can hear Be Kind. Again, you have to wait for the delay so we can just talk amongst ourselves. How you doing?
I'm
You doing
okay.
good? Lovely to meet you, by the way. Thank you for all your kindness and
Likewise.
for your wonderful words and your inspirational wisdoms.
No.
Yes.
But
Yes.
Artie
Audio's
is
good. Oh, we're getting feedback. I'm sorry, I don't want to cut you off. Hold on, because I'll lose it. Hold on 1 second. Audio is good, 5-5. Thumbs up. She's good, 5-5. Sounds good. Hello, Be Kind. There you go. Hello, Be Kind. Look at all this love and bacon. You are a star. You are a star. So the stage
Artie
is yours.
Artie is giving me a private reading tomorrow night.
Oh my goodness! You have to come back and tell us.
I joined a course, that course in July that Claire is doing.
Oh my goodness. Okay, for the chat. Artie, that she is speaking of, is Artie, our lovely Artie, who gives Artie parties from Angels and Answers. He's been a friend of mine for quite a long time. He is stationed primarily New Jersey, Upper New Jersey, does parties and restaurants and that kind of thing, comes to your house and you get everybody together. Look at here. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. Plant lady. And so anyway, Artie is fantastic. Very upbeat, very in tune, very connection. Artie is best when you sit in front of him and you say, tell me what I need to hear. You know, not what I need to know. Because if you start working with your guides like that, this is the best advice I can give anybody, hands down, when it comes to this. If you start working with your guides and giving them permission to show you signs, not make decisions for you, show your signs, like this is a good thing, go through this door. The decision's still yours, your free will is still yours. But if you don't give them permission to help you, all they can do is stand by and just really try to influence you. Like, don't do that. Don't go around that corner. That's a bad. All of that is your guides. Now, you can argue all day whether it's your higher self or past loved ones or connection to spirit or creator or source. I'm going to go ahead and jump over the fence and tell you it's all of those things.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, I already started talking to them today about it and asking
fantastic
for them to be involved.
Fantastic.
So
and you have to give them permission because, again, you can't believe stories like I give you permission to read my energy and that's how a psychic or a medium works very well, or a doctor, a healer even. Same thing. It makes all the difference in the world.
So can you go up and I put in chat what I'm going to read, Desiderata. Maybe you could put the title, that little clip on the bottom of the screen.
I'll tell you what I can do. If you send me anything, is it a picture? Because if it's a picture, I need you to send it. You don't have a picture of the...
well, I do.
A snapshot. If you send that in Messenger, I can load it here.
I already did.
Okay, let me
You got it in Messenger from a few days ago.
Okay. Bear with me as I look.
Or I was actually just thinking, well, chat, what I did was I posted up here a couple of minutes ago the title of this poem and who wrote it.
Here we go. Vixen Doe has got it.
Desiderata, yep.
Can you see it? I'm afraid if I go to grab the picture, love, that I will lose you and everybody else.
That's fine.
So, are you good like this? Are you good riding bareback? Riding bareback. Remember riding bareback? Woo!
Oh, Lord, that's been a long time ago.
Man. And if you don't know what we're talking about, it's just too bad.
Just, yeah.
Go ahead, sweetheart.
Get out there in the world.
Ooh,
so this is a poem, I guess you could call it a poem. It was written by Max Ehrman in the late 1920s, I think, 1927.
Outstanding.
It got a lot of legs in the 60s as a poster. So any of you that are old like me, it might ring a bell from back then, but desiderata is the pluralization of the Latin noun desideratum, which means the closest translation is things desired, or this is the pluralization, desiderata, so it would be things desired or things wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I sound terrible with these headphones.
You're doing
anyway.
fine. Drive on, girlfriend. You're doing fine.
Okay, so here's what he wrote. Go placidly amid the noise and the haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. As far as possible, without surrender, be on good terms with all persons. Speak your truth quietly and clearly, and listen to others, even to the dull and the ignorant. They too have their story. Avoid loud and aggressive persons. They are vexations to the spirit. If you compare yourself with others, you may become vain or bitter. For always there will be greater and lesser persons than yourself. Enjoy your achievements as well as your plans. Keep interested in your own career, however humble. It is a real possession in the changing fortunes of time. Exercise caution in your business affairs, for the world is full of trickery. But let this not blind you to what virtue there is. Many persons strive for high ideals, and everywhere life is full of heroism. Be yourself. Especially do not feign affection, neither be cynical about love, for in the face of all aridity and disenchantment, it is as perennial as the grass. Take kindly the counsel of the years, gracefully surrendering the things of youth. Nurture strength of spirit to shield you in sudden misfortune. But do not distress yourself with dark imaginings. Many fears are born of fatigue and loneliness. Beyond a wholesome discipline, be gentle with yourself. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. And whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt, the universe is unfolding as it should. Therefore, be at peace with God, whatever you conceive him to be, and whatever your labors and aspirations in the noisy confusion of life, keep peace in your soul. With all its sham, drudgery, and broken dreams, it is still a beautiful world. Be cheerful. Strive to be happy.
There it is, folks. There it is. Beautifully done. Be kind. Oh my goodness. That is going to be at the end of episodes in the future. And I asked her, I didn't say what, did we? And you came up with that, and I said, perfect.
No.
Perfect. Perfect. Is it not perfect? And it'll be there for you to search it out when you need to hear it again, driving in the car with the kids. Let the kids hear. Let the kids hear positive words of reach out, continue on, find your light, be the light.
Have
Smile.
faith.
Have faith. Whatever that is.
Be kind.
Be kind. Be beautiful. You know? Absolutely wonderful. Thank you.
Thank
Lila.
you. Thank
I
you.
don't know what else to say after that other than this. And I'm serious. The whole time you were saying that, I was closing my eyes, listening to every word and realizing how well it falls into everything that we're all going through. And we say that, but do we really know? Everybody's going through what they're going through. Of course we know. And it's just as important as your neighbor and you and I and everybody in this chat. They're going through with their vantage point some things that are affecting all of us and some that we'll never know. I saw a thing the other day that said, remember, people are praying for what you take for granted every day. I don't care what your belief is, that's a true statement. And I think this is beautiful. I think we should keep putting it out there. Again, I'm trying to offer things that comfort every soul, every person, intrigues your mind. And I know, be kind, I want to apologize again that I know last night was a hard thing to watch. Of course, for
It was
anybody.
Hard. It was
for
hard.
anybody.
It was hard.
Oh, gosh, yeah. And the thing is, too, what if you were a juror? A parent. What if you were Freddie or married to Freddie? Or all the woman could do was bake to stay focused. And he did his thing. And they loved each other through it. 9 years to get another trial, to get a chance to speak.
Yeah.
So all of it is extremely difficult. But I do think it's important to also sometimes look at these things, not exploit them, but to look at them not only to see the horror, but to see the good, that the strength, the intestinal fortitude of people that pushed on, the strength, people that pushed on through things that you and I, and we won't touch on it now, but you and I know, have walked the road. We're gatekeepers on that road, are we not, love? We are. That's a road that neither Be Kind or I ever want to see anybody else walk down. But I promise you, if you walk down it, we're there. And that as a gatekeeper, we all we can do is offer the hard-earned knowledge of how we got on that road so far ahead of you. Because we're not the only ones on it. It's like I keep saying, the 5 people that you meet in heaven. If you have not read that book, if you have not seen that movie, please do yourself a favor. Because it's not going to change your reality. It's going to be like having a lucid dream compared to having a dream that you wake up sweating and you don't remember anything. It's that different. It's going to give you an idea of what it's like to push forward on our journey and who influences us. And it could be the guy that opened the door at the Wawa or the Kroger or the, I don't know, is Pathmark still around? I try to include everybody, so I tried the Piggly Wiggly. Did I catch, the Wegmans, but you see what I'm saying? Sometimes it's the smallest influence.
The tiniest kindness. For me, during those first 6 or 8 weeks when my daughter was in neuro ICU, it was, what do you call them? The car hops. The people, when you were ready to finally leave the hospital, they came and got my car.
Yeah.
And so, the weeks have gone by, and every day.
Yeah. Oh, God.
And they then they knew me.
Yeah.
I mean, so to speak. But they were so, that tiny little kindness of just saying to me, how are you? You're here early today,
The little things that help you make that one next step with your feet. Because when you're going through this type of thing, and I hope that most of you don't know what I'm talking about, is when I say, like, you're walking through this like
abyss.
It's almost like hot jello. I mean, it's just like you're walking through this, like walking underwater.
It's a fog. For me, it was a fog.
Yeah. And then you just, one foot in front of the other. So many people have done it. So many people that we honor today have done it. The fallen that, that went before us. But,
Yeah.
You know, think about it. It's not just them, it's our ancestors too, that if they didn't push forward and live through whatever horror that they lived through, we wouldn't be here.
Right.
So they had, you know, whether it's, the Scottish clan that fought in the, Culloden, or, anything. You bring up any culture, anything. This is where we need Donnie Cho, because he's such a wonderful historical mind, and he knows a lot about the histories of globally. So, people tend to focus on one thing, but we're really just humans all going through, trying to live through the day. And if we're lucky enough to smile most of the time,
Yeah.
we're in a good spot. There's some people have reason to smile and don't take, they
Right.
take everything for granted, and some people have lost everything and wish they hadn't. So I know this is kind of funny to end this, a story about abduction this way, but I think it's great that Be Kind could come on tonight and give you a live version of that wonderful poem. Say the name of it again.
Desiderata.
It's beautiful. It's great. I don't know why I think of a horse when you say that. I think of the wild horses that are running over the fields.
Oh, yeah.
Think a drone shot. I'm very visual. When people say things, I get flashes. That's why I get very upset if I'm watching a bad movie and they take a really good song and they use it as a scene, and it, like, say, example, Goodfellas, Layla. And from now on, every time I hear Layla and I hear Eric Clapton start on that, it's pulling away, it's a pink Cadillac, and everybody's dead. I see it every time now. There's no way to get away from it. It's there. That's why, commercials and things are so, visuals are so important,
Right.
because your mind remembers. Ann is saying something. She's yelling it. So I dreamed about walking my sons at a younger age throughout a hospital, and connected with many people, even on the elevator. Yeah, many of us have had very vivid dreams, and maybe one night we should do that and get. God, I hope that was something on your end, because if not, that was a horrible EVP. Did you guys just hear that? Please tell me you heard that. Oh my gosh, you didn't hear that?
Well, I have a lot of hearing loss, so.
Oh, guys in the chat, did you please tell me you heard that? That was crazy. I'll have to go back and listen to it again after the recording. But anyway, to end on that, and I was very quiet. I was trying not to even react when you were reading that, because I'm going to cut. That's where the poem is coming from. I'm going to cut that. First, one take, Be Kind. Did you hear that? How cool is that? I was trying to be good and not make it and not mess her up. And she did beautiful, so we're cutting that, and it's going to be at the end of many an episode. Thank you so much, love. It's
Thank you.
wonderful to meet somebody, live in the chat that you've been talking to. We love her so much. Thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you.
The only way I can think of finishing that beautiful speech is to play that lovely song. Wasn't that a beautiful song?
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
almost like you're going into a wormhole. You have no idea how long it took to get that wormhole, just a curve. But again, free. On Vid, Easy, and on Pixabay. And of course, our wonderful YouTube audio library. All of that's free. So if you've got something creative in your heart and you need a video, or you want to learn how to edit and stuff, do it. Do it. This is the time to do it now. Do what makes you smile. I love you. Be kind. You're going to take us out of here with this beautiful
Bye-bye.
song and our outro. Thank you for coming in
Thank
tonight.
you.
So
Bye.
much. It was wonderful. Say bye.
Bye.
We love her. We love her. We love her. Here we go, guys. Let me get this started. The right spot for you guys. I think this is a beautiful song. I am so glad that I found a way to share it with you and got that cool idea to show you guys how, it does take a little time, but the app I use, mostly I have an Android, so I don't know for you guys with iPhone, but I'm sure you could get things on a desktop, of course, too. But free app, YouCut, there's some other ones out there. Just go through wherever you get your apps and try a few of them out. You're going to find the one you like. Take time and teach yourself how to do it. and put something together like this that can change a person's mood, lift a person's spirit. This again will be at the end of the episode. So if you do need a lift, much like the one we did with Pamela Locke that had that wonderful frequency tape in it, you can use this to help you out there in this crazy, crazy world. And thank you so much, Be Kind, for coming in tonight. Thank you, Donnie, for trying. Hey, this is what was meant to be. So Travis Walton, crazy stuff. I believe him. I believe all of them. Who am I to say? So here we go. Enjoy this song. Enjoy the funny stuff at the end with beaming up Zombie Steve. I guess we sent out the ship, and Steve wasn't there, but wherever he is, we wish him love, and we wish him a good time. He's out there getting good footage for the show, and meeting people and shaking babies and kissing hands, I think. He wouldn't disagree with me there. I love you all. Thank you for being so active in the chat. Again, my PayPal is there, and it'll be in the description. Please go support some of these wonderful artists with this wonderful music, because music really is the universal language. People think it's yelling. It's not. It's love. And we are all connected. So let this mean whatever it means to you. No matter what, enjoy the journey.